Plaintiff, Rukia Pasua, says the defendant is her daughter, and she's an aspiring model, dancer, and actress who's been working as a fashion coordinator. Rukia feels as though her daughter has forgotten about the people who helped get her where she is, and the two of them haven't talked in months. She's suing her daughter for rent, legal, and cleaning fees. Defendant Brianna Johnson says the reason she hasn't spoken to her mother is because her mother kicked her out of her home. And now Rukia is withholding child support that Brianna is entitled to. Brianna also claims the plaintiff has turned her siblings against her, so she's countersuing for emotional distress and moving expenses.
Start with you.
Okay. It's real sad that we have to be here today. My daughter is aspiring to be a model, dancer, actress, and she's doing really well at it. But I feel that my daughter has I feel that let's take
your time. Give her some tissue. Give her daughter some tissue also.
I feel that she has forgotten about the people who helped her to get to where she is now.
What is she doing specifically?
She's a hard worker. She was going to Columbia College. She's a fashion coordinator. She does modeling, fashion shows. She deals with a lot of people that's in the industry.
And is well paid for all this?
Yeah, from what I know, because I haven't talked to her. The reason I'm so emotional is because I haven't seen her since February. And we haven't talked at all.
Why not?
Because I kicked her out because of the unpaid rent. My daughter.
Why didn't she pay her rent? You said she was doing very well.
That's what I thought. I don't know. I just know she does a lot. And I would assume that some of it, of course, you're doing just like you do just to get into the industry. But I assume that she was getting paid for at least some of it. So, I mean, I know she had money because she was doing real well with the rent up until 2009, August. What happened was she came to my home in February and she told me that they had changed the locks on her door. And I was dumbfounded because all the way up until this point, I'm thinking she's paying rent. And she told me that they evicted her. I co-signed for this apartment and she never told me anything. So she didn't give me a chance to try to help pay so that my credit wouldn't get ruined. She just went along with the game. I guess she was gonna wait until what they did was put the locks on and kick her out. So of course I let her stay with me for 3 days. My daughter not once said she was sorry. And she told me she was saving money and she hadn't saved a dime. So when I asked her for the money to give to the lady at the apartment complex, she told me she didn't have anything. So I told her, you gotta go. Don't be in my house when I get home. So she left and actually I kicked her out. She left and she texted me later on that evening and I have the text messages where she was saying, I hate you, you kicked me out, I don't understand.
Let me hear her side. You want to speak today?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, first of all, me and my mom, like she said, we were very, very close prior to this whole situation, and it just really, really, really hurt me and brought me to like rock bottom when she kicked me out because I've never experienced anything like this. Like, I come from a family that's very small but very close until she got divorced with my father. So my father, he's been doing whatever he's been doing or whatever, and he hasn't been paying his child support. But now, from my understanding, from talking to my brother and my sister, she's receiving child support from my father, back child support. So I'm going to my father asking him, because he's supposed to pay my credit card bills, and he's saying he's only getting $200 per check because she's getting child support, and I'm supposed to be getting some of that money. But since we're not talking, I didn't know anything.
When did you stop talking?
We stopped talking when she kicked me out because
Why did she kick you out?
She kicked me out because I got caught up on rent from my
That's
roommate.
What we're talking about.
Right.
Your father's child support has nothing to do with this today.
Right. My roommate, she moved out on me because she had an ex-boyfriend that was actually overprotective. He blinded her with all like Gucci materialistic.
When did your roommate move out?
She moved out in October because he kidnapped her.
Okay.
So she had to move because her mother was
And you
scared of her
had to pay the
safety.
rent alone from October up until February.
Yes.
Did you pay anything?
I couldn't because they wouldn't allow partial payment.
Okay. Did you explain this to your mother?
No, because her mother and her continued to tell me that they were definitely going to give me the half of the rent. And I knew that this would cause I didn't want my mom to worry because she put this in my responsibility.
All right.
So I wanted to take that responsibility and take it upon myself and in my own hands. So that's what I
Hoping
tried
and praying
to do.
that she would pay her half and you could pay it off without mom being upset. That's
Exactly.
understandable. But why did she kick you out of the house?
Because she was upset that I didn't tell her to the last minute because I put all my trust into my best friend and her mother's word because we were best friends for a very long time, but I guess that really doesn't matter.
Judge, that's not why I kicked her out.
Why'd you kick her out?
I kicked you out because you never said, Ma, I'm sorry. When I asked you for the money Friday, February 5th, you told me you had been saving money.
Talk to me, ma'am. She told you what?
She told me that she had been saving money. She had been saving her half of the rent. So I said, okay, give me what you have.
Right.
I'll take it to the lady and then we can work something out. She told me when I asked her for the money, she had nothing.
Ma'am?
No, I did not say that. I was supposed to have.
Did she ask you for your half?
Yes, she did.
Did you give it to her?
No, I didn't
Why?
because I didn't have everything. I had everything except
Why didn't you
$700.
give her what you had?
Because we couldn't do partial
Like your
payment.
landlord, she wouldn't take partial
She would
payment
not take
either.
partial
Nobody
payment.
takes partial
They
payment
did
from
not
you.
take partial
You
payment.
refuse to take partial payment
I'll
as well?
take anything.
Right. I don't believe both parties refuse to take partial payment from you, ma'am. And that sounds like grounds of putting you out. I'm your parent. You don't pay the rent in another place I've co-signed for you. You come and stay with me. And then you say to me, oh, I have all my half. Where is it? You say, oh, I don't really have it. I'd put you out too. And hopefully my kids listening, if you lie to me and come home and tell me you have some money for me and you want to stay with me based on giving me some money there and you've lied about that money, you're getting kicked out. Go ahead.
And I feel really bad because I love my daughter a lot. I mean, I really do. But, you know, like right now she's engaged. I didn't know she was getting engaged. So I had to find out through her two other siblings.
Well, you're not going to have too much of a
What was
relationship
going.
until you all get past what happened. And that might take a while. You think it's going to be in a couple months? I don't mean a couple months.
Yeah.
Might take a year or two. All right? Legal fees. What are you suing her for legal fees?
The legal fees, $904. But because she had a security deposit of $797.
These are for?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot that part. She had gotten a notice. Since she lives at the apartment, the mail comes to the apartment. So I never see it. So they sent her a notice. She had to go to court in November. The court told her either you pay what's owed or vacate the premises. She did neither. So these are
went
the
to court and
fees.
assessed the legal fees against
Exactly.
her. Let me have that. And you have any evidence of what the cleaning expenses, what was that for?
They evicted her on Monday, and the lady was nice enough to let her go back to the apartment and get some of her things out. But I guess the way that the apartment was left, because I didn't see it.
Do you have the
know.
bill that shows what they're charging you for cleaning fees?
Oh, yes, I do. It's right there.
Your counterclaim, young lady, is for moving expenses and emotional distress. How does she owe you?
Because I had up to $700, but since she kicked me out, I had to use that money to find somewhere else to stay. So I couldn't give her that money.
You had
and
no
she
legal right to stay with her.
No.
So she can put you out.
Right.
All right. So then you can't countersue her for putting you out. Your emotional distress, how does she owe you for that?
Because she turned my brother and my sister against me. They called me. She told them that I destroyed something of hers, and they
Tell
called
me what it is.
I don't remember. It was like a
well
ring.
then let's not talk about it. You have to prove your case by remembering. Now, do you believe you owe your mother anything?
Yes,
How much?
my half of the rent.
How much is that?
$2,800.
All right. And ma'am, it's not emotional distress for her to tell the children something to turn them against you. If it's not true, it's just your mother telling a lie on you.
Okay.
And people tell lies on each other all the time. If I told Doyle's wife that he was cheating, that would turn his wife against him. But that would be a lie, I think. that would be a lie. And yeah, ma'am, I'm going to grant her everything that she has had to incur as a result of your breach. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,726. $2,300 counterclaim is dismissed. You've incurred all these expenses because you co-signed for your daughter. You say she lied to you. She's lying to me today, talking about you wouldn't accept partial payment. I don't believe that 1 second. Judgment for the plaintiff. Yes.
Just one thing. I wanted Brandon to know, because she has cut all of us off. My mother, we have a small family. It's my mother and my sister, because I think that she feels that they're upset with her because of the situation. I actually had a letter from my mom because she had somewhere to stay.
Why'd you stop coming around?
I actually tried to stay with my grandmother after everything.
So why'd you cut her off?
My grandma?
Yes.
Because she didn't answer the telephone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You see, you got a problem.
Wow.
Hey, ma'am, I'm not Dr. Phil. I can't solve this problem. The girl says she cut her grandmama off because she wouldn't answer the phone. You gotta wait till she's ready to come back around. Otherwise, just pray. Judgment for the plaintiff. Yours is dismissed. Have a good day.
I like to tell my daughter, I still love you. I said it in the text, and I'm hoping we can work it out, because I really do miss you, and you have too much pride. You gotta let that pride go. My mother and Asia have been waiting for you to call. You've been telling Bobby you're gonna come pick her up for the longest.
And
you just came to pick Bobby up.
Because seeing you hurt, like I don't want no like
So you don't wanna have a
memory
relationship with
of
me?
you, because you really hurt me. Like you feel like you didn't, but in reality you did. And I understand.
my credit,
and
Bob.
I
Brandon, I've
understand.
done
I
everything
have,
for you.
and I understand that.
Brandon,
and one
that has
thing that
nothing
I
to do
don't
with
care.
anything.
Like I'm
So
sorry
that
that
means
I
that we
don't
can't have a
care.
relationship?
I'm sorry
So
that
we're
I
not
don't
gonna have a
care.
relationship.
You hurt me. Do you understand that?
Hurt
Do you see that?
Brandon,
Do
you
see
wouldn't be
that?
where you are right now
Exactly.
if it wasn't for me.
Exactly.
So you telling me that you're finished
And so
with me?
You hurt me
Are you
because you
finished with-
just done after
Finished.
one thing.
I'm finished.